Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 11th Annual AfrICANDO 2008 Conference in Miami-Dade County. My name is Mandy, Ellison, and I am the president of the South African American Business Club here in the East Coast, USA. Every year for the past 10 years, the Foundation for Democracy in Africa has worked very hard to put this annual conference together, addressing issues of trade and development in Africa. For those of you who do not know much about the Foundation, it is a development organization committed to promoting democracy, sustainable development, and economic growth throughout Africa. It was founded in 1994, and its mission is to implement culturally based programs designed to strengthen and enhance the fundamental principles of democracy, freedom, and economic plurality throughout Africa. Secondly, its mission is to integrate emerging African democracies into the mainstream of global economy, thus cultivating a pathway for peace and prosperity in Africa. The Foundation does this by educating existing and future leaders in government, politics, business, industry, and community affairs in the concept of democratic capitalism, and also promotes this concept among the population at large. Additionally, the Foundation helps African people deal with the challenges arising from HIV/AIDS, which is the pandemic in Africa. This morning, we are here to address issues and challenges that may stand in the way of development in Africa. For this reason, we are gathered here to discuss the use of appropriate technology for rural community development in Africa. Our first speaker this morning is Mr. Fred Oladeinde, the President of the Foundation for Democracy in Africa, who will give a brief welcome remark.
Thank you very much. President Jose Vicente, our host, honorable members of Miami-Dade Commission, esteemed honoree Dr. Sarah Morton, Medal of Glory recipient, Manny Mencia, U.S. Africa Trade Development Award recipient, members of the Diplomatic Corps, students, faculty and staff of Miami-Dade College, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. And thank you for honoring our invitation to AfrICANDO 2008. On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Foundation for Democracy in Africa, staff, members, and partners, I thank you for honoring our invitation to attend the 11th U.S. Africa Trade and Investment Conference, AfrICANDO 2008. This year's conference theme, promoting the use of appropriate technology for rural community development in Africa, was specifically chosen for discussion in the next 3 days of this conference by you and I to challenge existing failed development paradigm designed by overpaid experts, politicians, bureaucrats, and development gurus working out of plush offices in Washington, D.C., New York, Addis Ababa, Tunis, Rome, Geneva, and other capitals around the world that have failed 680 million fellow citizens in Africa and more across the globe. Our objective in the next 3 days, ladies and gentlemen, is to bring back common sense into the development paradigm and rescue our brothers and sisters from the bondage of failed policies, corrupt leadership, blatant mismanagement of the people's wealth and resources by coming up with recommendations that will help decrease and not increase the number of people living in abject poverty globally. The midterm report of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, established in 2000 with the goals of halving the numbers of people living in extreme poverty globally by 2015, was released last Thursday, September 11, 2008. The report shows that since the launching of the program over 8 years ago, the number of people living in extreme poverty is on the rise, particularly in the poorest regions of the world. According to the UN report, over 475 million people were lifted out of poverty line of $1.25 a day between 1990 and 2005 in Asia due to the Chinese economic expansion. However, in sub-Saharan Africa, those living below the poverty line increased by 100 million people in the same period. The depth of poverty in this region is lower than anywhere else, with an average daily consumption of 70 cents per day, said the report, despite billions of dollars in foreign aids from the G8 and other donor nations, and significant reduction in the amount of money servicing foreign debt because of debt forgiveness on the continent. The UN midterm report should be a wake-up call for all of us interested in Africa's development, government, private sector, and civil society. This is another opportunity to reevaluate current development paradigms and think outside the box. Look for solutions that would improve living conditions in rural communities by putting the sun, the wind, the sea to work for the rural poor so that we can produce more and attain higher standard of living. We must connect farms to market with roads, railways, and waterways so that the labor of rural poor can be converted to wealth and prosperity, and the corridor between farm and markets can become breeding grounds for industries, adding value to primary products, creating jobs and tax base, while reducing the migration of rural poor to urban slums and shanty towns. I am delighted again that you honored our invitation to attend AfrICANDO 2008 and look forward to your recommendations and inputs. Congratulations go to our 2008 honorees, Sarah E. Morton, Doctor of Education, Medal of Glory, recipient, and Mr. Manny Mencia, recipient of the U.S. Africa Trade Development Award. We are proud of their achievements and contributions to sustainable development in Africa. In conclusion, I would like to take this opportunity to thank President Jose Vicente, staff, faculty, and students of Miami-Dade College for hosting AfrICANDO 2008 on the North Campus. We are very grateful for the support and cooperation and look forward to working with the college on the implementations of the recommendation from this conference. Again, I welcome you to AfrICANDO 2008. Thank you.